Hello, 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 everyone, and how's it going out there? Welcome, Gold Heart Herd. Here we are for another episode of our Magehand press-sponsored game, Lost Horizons Semblance. Super hyped to be back playing this, especially after what happened last time. As always, this game is brought to you by Gold Heart Gaming. So thank you all for watching here right now live, and for those who are watching in the future on YouTube. This is a sponsored game. It's our third one now, so we have a few left going on, but it's sponsored by the wonderful and amazing Magehand Press. We are exploring and playing in the dark matter kind of universe, playing in the campaign book. It's all very spacey and fun, and I really like just adding my own horror twist to it. Dark Matter is a rip-roaring futuristic campaign setting set against a mashup of sci-fi and fantasy influences, which lets you play D&D in space without learning a new system. You heard me say it before, you've heard me say it today, and you're going to hear me say it another time as well. We are using Magehand Press content and SRD content, so be sure to check those out if you want to bring in your own game and play in the 5e space opera that is this wonderful campaign. Magehand Press has a Kickstarter, which I believe was funded, but they have a number of extra goals as well. We talked about some goals last week. That was a rip-roaring mech kind of battle. So be sure to check their page for other stretch goals that are going on. Highly recommended. I know they recently brought out a kind of a noir investigation kind of campaign going, so that looks interesting and fun. I can't wait to get my hands on that. So yes, as well as being sponsored by Magehand Press, we are also sponsored by VZ 3D Works, a 3D printed TTRPG props item kind of store and shop. It's really great. They allow you to kind of print and buy and allow you to get all of your mythic mugs, collection of mythic mugs and props for your table, collection of fates and dice towers. Use our affiliate link in chat to get 12% off in the online store at checkout, which you can only find here, so be sure to check them out. As well as that, there are also a number of donation goals that you can hit if you wish to interact with the stream. Those are, if you're watching this live, you can scroll down below where you can donate £1 as a thank you, 5 as a hydrate, 10 as a medic, 15 as a favored by the force, 25 phases set to kill, and the big daddy of them all, 50, which is glitch in the matrix, which now that you've most likely seen the last episode, makes more sense about the glitch in the matrix and all this other stuff. So yes. Of course, as well, we're also playing with a number of safety tools and all of that good jazz. Be sure to put it into all of your games, streamed or otherwise, to help you push the boundaries, add the spooks in a safe and confident way. But without further ado, why don't we just get right into it, shall we? And we're going to, just because we're starting a bit late here, and I want to get into all of the good stuff. So we see our lovely crew here, all happy, all smiles. That will change. I mean, what? It won't change. Everything is fine. Everything is safe. We're all happy here in space. No one can hear you scream. What? So, why don't we just begin, shall we? And with all of my games, let's add some atmosphere. We hear the hum of intense engines as the screen slowly fades in. We see a circular room. Dark silver panels line the walls and floors, but broken. Wires stick out from holes in the walls. Beams hang brokenly from the ceiling, suspended by interlocked spiderweb wiring. White fumes spewing out in the center. We also see a large column from floor to ceiling with panels of all manner of lights flashing in different colors. As the camera slowly zooms in, we see the screen turn a tint of red. And as we see the red wash over the screen, we see a hand shoot out of what looks to be a pod. breaking out of a wet, viscous, slimy film covering the pod. We see Elizabeth fall out, coughing, spewing up pink liquid. A long, wet, organic tube are fixed to her spine and neck. As we see you look around, we hear the words, "Simulation terminated." We see the title flash on the screen. Lost Horizon, Semblance, Alpha Suite. Elsbeth, you hear just whirling sirens going off. Your vision is blurry. It's slowly coming to you. You're just this naked nautiloid out on the hard, cold floor. You look around and you see flashing red monitors, and you see suspended in other metal and pinkish tubes are your friends. And the monitors next to them just says terminate. And you start seeing at the base of these pods, metal start to wrap around as if encasing them. What do you do?
Oh no. Can I try to just tear off the tubes?
You run over, and as you go, you see who do you go to first?
Buns is in charge, so let me go.
Captain, my captain. You run over to Foos. Their large metal cryopod is stuck, slanted against the wall. Tubes are sticking out and going into the wall, into the ceiling. You see them suspended in some kind of liquid. You feel the tug on your own organic, wet, fixated tendril affixed to you. You pull it, and you hear something snap back at your own pod. As you run closer, you see where there should be glass is just this filmy mucus. The only way I can describe it, it's like the same mucus you get when a child is born. It's
Ew.
that kind of film. You touch it and you feel it squidge in. You know you could just put your hand in and rip them out if you wanted.
Yeah, just rip and tear.
You do. You start ripping and tearing as you're going. You're pulling pieces out. It's almost too thick. It's gelatinous, and suddenly the water starts spewing, and you grab a hold of Foos and you pull them out, almost giving birth to them through this cryo womb. And as they slop to the ground, you see the pod's data kind of link go black. The metal rivets from the bottom stop, but you see they're already halfway up on Kai. My God, I've got your name. What's your name? I can't see your name. Esme. Of course, I should know that. You see it on Esme. Is already halfway up to their knees. You go over and you pull them out as well. And then you hear a grinding, a whirling noise behind you. Turn around, you see there's this tube that's fixated to this computer terminal. And as we hear it whirling, we see this circle projectile shoot out. And that's where we leave you for now.
No.
Foos and Esme. You are standing in a dark hallway. Rhythmically, we see the white lights pumping brighter and darker, almost like a heartbeat. This hallway is tight and enclosed. You're not together, but you are seeing the same thing. Ahead of you, you see this blurry door, and behind you is just the endless expanse of darkness. Foos, what do you do as you see this? You're muted.
Always. So there's nothing that's behind me, but there is a door in front of me.
Mm-hmm. Like ahead of you.
Just like ahead of me, I'm gonna go towards the door. If I know there's nothing behind me, there's no point in me looking back.
With those thoughts in your head, you start moving forward. You're barefoot, but you hear the distinctive sounds of almost boots echoing as you're walking towards this black door. It slowly starts fading in. As you get closer, Esme, what are you doing as you see this hallway?
I face the darkness.
You're muted.
You're muted.
Oh, I face the darkness.
You face the darkness, you turn around, and you look deep in, and you feel this emptiness, this not longing, but almost like a clawing, as if you are being erased.
I would like to not face this erasure. I would no longer like to face it.
You feel as though a part of yourself would be lost if you continue to stare into this, whatever it was. And you look forward and you see this black door again. It's blurry, but you can make it out. You go towards it?
I do.
As you walk towards it and it gets clearer and clearer, we see on a split screen both of you staring at this door. As it comes into clarity, it's this fine oaken door with a golden handle. And at the top of the door frame just reads Alpha Suit. And as you stare at it, you get feelings of happiness and nervousness. It is a strange feeling to have. It is your own, but it is someone else's. And as you get close, you hear the door slide open, just ajar, and there is soft yellowy light coming through. You hear muffled talking.
I would like to know what the are.
You do. You walk in. As you choose to walk in, Esme, what are you doing?
I activate my my language processor that allows me to understand all language.
You do. You try and access this language processor, but you just hear muffled noises once again.
All right, I'll head in a little closer because it's got to be better than waiting out here.
Do you kind of peek in, and as you peek in and as you walk in, Foos, a light envelops both of you, and you're standing in a room. There is a glass mirror on the back wall. You are sitting at a table, and you see someone sitting opposite you. It is this Vec. They have a silvery face. The sides and the top of their head is yellowy gold, and they have lines like partitions where the plates are. You see in front of them on the desk reads Dr. Fron. And you see their mouths moving, and you see yourselves. You're wearing your military gear. You look down and you see that you're signing something. You feel happy. And then you suddenly feel the whiteness taking this room. You have one action to do something. What do you choose to do? I'll start with Esme.
I'm not sure what's going on. I think I'm going to simply see where this leads me. I have a curiosity. The darkness was a curiosity too, but it was a curiosity that hurts that I don't quite have a word for. Fear?
You do. You see how this plays out, and you watch. Roll me a perception check. Foos, what are you doing?
Now, what am I doing as I'm watching myself, or what am I doing like as in that moment of
As
silence?
you're watching yourself.
As I'm watching myself, I'm gonna take a deep breath and see if I can smell any type of magic.
You do. You take a deep breath and you smell some type of magic, and once again, it comes not the sterile sense now, but it smells of blood. There is an earthiness tone to it. And then you sense something from yourself. An unease and an excitement. Run me a perception check.
Okay.
And Esme, with that 2 you rolled.
V for victory.
V for victory.
Yep.
The white light encompasses everything, and you're trying to focus on what's going on, but there's too much. And then you hear music behind you, and as you turn around to look, everything disappears. And Voos, with that 6,
Look, they're very nervous right now.
you try and focus on the senses that you just had. And as you try and focus on them, once again, the whiteness around you takes you. And you're just left with this uncertainty. And then simultaneously, your eyes shoot open as you're in this blaring room of lights and sounds and metal. You're completely naked and you have these connections on you. And you see Elsbeth is there, and you cough up this goo.
This is like doing this.
Your face probably stings because I definitely slapped you a couple times.
This just like percept all of it, roll everything. Just where am I?
Mm-hmm.
You know, I see things that I have thrown up now, and everyone's naked. And what's going on? I'm very defensive right now.
Everything hurts. It's like the light's intense, the flashing colors are intense, everything's kind of blurring, slowly coming in. You see this whirling circle, like fist-sized device in the air that's like hovering around. Now, are you doing anything?
I am going to move so that the other two are behind me and watch it. Is it just monitoring us, or is it or is it coming at us?
It's just like, it's like maybe like 5 feet away, and it's just like hovering in the air.
Yeah, no, like I'm gonna move so that I'm in front of them, like while they're still like just kind of looking at it, like as long as it doesn't come at me, we can still talk and figure out what's going on.
Esme, you wake up as well.
Oh my. Esme turns their head to the side and their jaw kind of opens up, and then just like a rush of slurry comes out, but it seems very inconsequential. And then they close their mouth again.
as you do that, you see that the device starts scanning, like with this wide beam, starts scanning all of you. As it goes down, you hear a.
I'm gonna push them so that they don't get scanned. It starts doing the thing, and I'm gonna like move them out the way. If it gets me, it gets me. But it can just think there's one of us.
As you do, the scan moves with them.
Bitch.
It scans them as well. And then you just hear a very soft voice. Oh, good. You are awake. That is agreeable. Hello. And then you see the rim light up in this bluish field, and a face projects, and it's of this androgynous, dark-skinned figure, glowing, almost like red burning, not yellowy burning eyes, kind of gold. And they just say, "Greetings, organics. I am Horizon. I'm glad I was able to wake you up before you were terminated."
Why were we about to be terminated?
I am not bad at my job. Why would I lose it?
Your job is non-existent. You have been in cryostasis for error, unauthorized use of time.
Pull up the
Is
last
this
log,
termination common?
They float there for a second. You see the head kind of move left and right, kind of looking at the debris. Nothing is common at the moment. Last log, you wish? You are not authorized for that. I am sorry. I have been locked out of those protocols. This is why I'd woken you up. I need your help.
Yes. Yes. Yes, if I do not have work, I would like to have work. Or something. What do you need?
Until otherwise we have our orders. Fine, we'll help you.
Your orders? You have no orders. Are you experiencing slow regenerative connection to the real world?
It'll pass.
Good. You are unclothed. There is a micro unit over there, and they float over to this kind of node on the wall that has this like metal, almost like a pin that's like stuck in the wall, and it kind of shoots out. This will fabricate your clothing for you, so you are not cold and naked.
I don't think Deuce even noticed because they are part. It's just like cold. Oh yeah.
Yeah, you're freezing.
I'm cold. I would like pants then, please.
Pants me.
Pants me. But yeah, does it work? Does it actually work? Everything else is kind of messed up and debris and
You go over to it and you see it spark a bit, but then after a second you see a kind of hollow monitor appear, and you see there's a bunch of like information and stuff. You've worked one of these before. You just type in your sizes and then it fabricates your clothing for you.
All right, yeah. Deuce is just going to do kind of like basic military slacks, but even though they just got them done, and they kind of messed them up around the knees so that they don't chafe like they do all their normal pants, and then just like a tank, and then their jacket. there's a thing in there. Just it's not spiky, but it's at least a jacket that they kind of mess up the sleeves on. Why they made new things to mess it up, don't ask, but it's what they do.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. What the rest of you do? You're free reign to kind of look around, ask any questions. This thing is just waiting for everyone to not be naked.
Now I'm done being naked. I would like to kind of look around a bit, kind of watch everybody else's back while we do it. But I will wait to get that after everyone else says what they're doing.
Sure, yeah.
I would like to put on clothing as well. It's just going to be a simple jumpsuit. Then I put on some boots. I put on some gloves. Then I put on a jacket and a hat and like a scarf. The feeling, the sensation of clothing on skin is great. I haven't felt it in so long, and I keep putting on like layers until somebody stops me.
I will stop you. I think that's enough. I think you'll be warm.
I really like the fabric on this one. Feel it.
Oh, that's nice. Okay. Well, then just do that one.
Okay.
You have on 7 shirts, please.
I put on a pair of sunglasses. then I walk away.
Yeah. I'm done.
Perfect accessory.
Nice.
Would this be able to recreate my suit?
No. You can ask about it.
Who can I ask? Kind of an AI or our drone friendo?
You can ask the drone friend. There seems to be anything around right now. Or you can look around, see if there's any logs about it. You seem to be in some kind of like cryo room. It's like a computer on the side where this thing popped out from.
Do you have any spare life suits around, or is this thing able to replicate them?
Are you referring to your old life suit that you donned off at error, time, unauthorized? That is in the... And you see it stop for a second and float. I will have to guide you to that location. That is in a dangerous area.
Oh, of course, the dangerous area, because this wasn't the dangerous area where we were almost terminated. I'm beyond glad that you've clarified that. Here I thought I waltzed into a zone of danger. I'm glad to know it's elsewhere.
I have locked this room. You are relatively safe from them.
Relative being the operative word, we'll get back to who they are later. And I'll construct myself just like a basic jumpsuit.
I think right now Esme kind of looks like Anastasia does in the cartoon.
Nice.
Just so many baggy layers of clothing.
I mean, it's appropriate. I guess we are in the dark of the night.
Mm-hmm. Oh my god.
So as you're looking around, Foos, you see that the computer terminal is kind of accessed. It's just kind of has the main screen on, with just a camera kind of pointed throughout this area so you can kind of see everything. Seems to be some kind of video feed. You see on the side of the kind of table that it's kind of fixed onto, there is some kind of data pad that seems to be on and not broken. Everything else just seems to be in disrepair. You see that the connective tissue that was connected to your back and spine has fallen off and it's shriveled up, and you see that there is just disrepair everywhere. But I'd like you to roll me a perceptional investigation just to see if you see anything else.
I don't know what happened yet.
Could I also perceive to try and identify if this is like damage from neglect and deterioration, or if something tore through here?
Sure. I would say that would be because this is all kind of the technology based. I would say give me a tech roll.
Digital dice in jail.
What did you get? A 5?
Yes.
You look around and everything just seems to be destroyed. You see a number of other pods that seem to be empty. You see some other bodies in there seem to be shriveled up. completely gaunt. The eyes seem to stare at you, though, as you kind of look around, and that seems to take your attention. But apart from the data pad and the computer, that's all you really see.
I too rolled AV for victory.
Nice. Did you add your intelligence to that?
I don't have training in that.
Okay. Then yeah, you get it too.
I think I want to help.
I mean,
Well,
a 1 and a 1 next to each other is 11, not 2.
Yeah. You were doing your investigation, so you couldn't really help with that. Plus, they were kind of determining if things were broken. But that's what you see at the moment. And then as you're kind of mulling around, Horizon just says, "It is good to see that you were able to walk around after such a long stay. Atrophy seems not to be affecting you."
You always say everything so ominously.
I am just saying things as they are.
What is the
This is
normal
very squinty.
length of time someone would have to stay in stasis before atrophy set in?
That would be... You are not authorized for that information. I am sorry. I am locked out from all of my logs.
How do we get you back into those logs?
This is why I need your help. Dr. Fran has been infected with the N virus. I need you to help me stop them so that we can take back the space station.
Okay. How are we gonna make sure that? Why aren't you?
Why am I not what?
Can't any type of? I'm just trying to remember what they know about the N virus and whether or not the AI would also be infected by something like that.
Most likely the N virus can infect any kind of machine. It depends on the infective source. So Dr. Fran, which you would remember from the plate that was in your dream, if it was an isolated machine, then they would be infected, and then they would most likely try and infect other machinery.
Mhm.
Maybe this thing's isolated itself. You don't really know. You can roll me a... Oh, what would be a for this?
That's what the question was going to be. Why aren't you infected with that? Then
They say to you, I was able to split my routines. I have been in a long logic battle with Dr. Fran for a very long time, one of us never really overcoming the other. I am not infected. I am fine. I have not been infected.
Which space station are we on?
You are on Space Station Horizon.
Does that name sound familiar to me?
Yeah.
The only Horizon you know was this place you were told to go to was the Horizon facility.
Yeah.
Which is where you picked up Dr. Takehiko.
We've already been here. We left here.
But that was like on a planet.
Yeah, that was on.
Just so.
That's true. How do we best help you?
By navigating through the husks and surviving the terror of the station, and then obtaining your gear and eliminating Dr. Thron.
Ooh. That's
What's a tall order?
Yes, that is a tall order to fill.
You are the best of the best. You have been in training for time not allowed. You are not authorized.
Okay, if only to get that to stop.
Okay.
What are husks?
You would know what husks are. So husks are that old spacer talk that everyone really knows about. So husks are basically space zombies. So when someone dies in space or a ship explodes and people are out in the vacuum, they just, for some unknown reason, turn into these zombie-like creatures that can exist in the vacuum of space. If they bite you, you can turn into them. That's why when people die on a ship, they eject them into space straight away or they burn them, just in fear of that.
Drinks matcha worriedly.
Uh-huh.
Okay.
So the plan is survive.
That is the best plan.
I'm going to turn to Elizabeth and ask, how do you feel? How do you feel magic-wise? Every time I try to use something, it messes up. How are you?
I haven't been trying to use magic. Oh, can I do some kind of arcana check?
Yes, you can. You can. I mean, you can just try and like without using a spell. So you could say like you're trying to cast a spell or something.
Let me try to summon Terry.
You summon Terry, and kind of through a crack in like the air, you see Terry kind of come through slowly, and he's there.
Never been so happy to almost pee myself.
Well, at least your internal systems seem to be working, and at least as far as summoning Terry, my magic is unaffected. Horizon, you don't do you happen to have any tools or know where we can get any to navigate through the husks while we find our equipment?
Do you have access to a map at all?
Yes, map, showing, display. And they display this massive 3D map. And in row 20, for those who are playing, you can see the map. But you see this large structure that is this large map, the number of corridors and rooms. None of it's really named, but you see a bleeping red light that like signifies you. And then they zoom out and you see that this space station is attached to this ice asteroid, like embedded deep, and it's just rotating. We are in Horizon Space Station. Location, top secret. I do know where your gear is. It is being held in old storage. You will have to go through to find it. I know the way. Please survive.
Okay.
I suggest we find something blunt. The danger is being bitten, so something that will knock out teeth or dislocate jaws.
Where's the closest? Things are broken all around us. One of those pods, probably the one that we came out of, the tubes that were near it. Is there anything that looks already broken?
There's lots of broken tubes and other things around. The only two things that aren't broken in this room is the data pad and like the computer terminal.
All right. I am going to go over to one of the broken pods and tear off 2 pieces of pipe and hand one to Esme and one to Elizabeth. Did that materializer only do clothing? Could I make a little pouch so that I can have the data pad connected to my belt and close to me?
Yeah, do you look at the data pad at all?
Yeah, but just right now I just wanted to.
Yeah. You can totally like have it like a holster.
Yeah, I'm gonna go find something that is blunt and sharp, and then go get that for myself.
Yeah, you can definitely find like some bludgeony like sharp. Like there's like a pipe that's like broken off and like to like a sharp point. Like these are like this. It isn't rusted and it seems very sturdy. Like you've been on ships and kind of been around engineering bay things like that long enough where you can tell that this is an adamantine pipe.
Tinker proficiency.
Yeah, this is like an adamantine pipe. So it's going to be very sturdy and it won't break.
Okay. Yeah. Okay, so then I have that. Everybody, please, you're welcome to find your own thingies. I just like, we need weapons, and then broke stuff. And
basically.
And then like kicked it off, and then went over and made a pouch. And then I'm going to look at the data pad and wait for you guys to tell me we're ready. Like I sit down with it like this, tell me when we're ready. And then I start looking through the data pad because I'm over all of this.
I'll use the transmitter thing to get some leather cords and make myself like some semblance of like brass knuckles since I'm already used to like my void cuffs.
We're getting creative now.
Yeah, you know.
Yeah.
Oh, put these sharp buttons on my knuckles, thanks. Yeah. Yeah, you can totally kind of do that, be as creative with it as you kind of want. As you're scrolling through the data pad, you notice the date on it. And the date on the data pad reads give me 1 second. Where is the date? The date reads 1385 galactic year.
1385.
And I'm not gonna have you roll for this. You know that when you're on your missions and all that stuff, you have to do logs.
I was about to ask, can I?
The year was 1380. So 5 years.
Yeah, they're just like looking at it. And you see them sit there and go, put the pad down. Is anything wrong with this data pad? Like, I don't know what Horizon's doing at that moment, but they just hear that question from wherever.
A holographic projection that comes by you. No, the data pad is scanning, working fine.
So the answer to a question we're not authorized for, and they say it like out loud for everyone, we've been in tubes for 5 years.
5 years.
Oh, you're not, are you allowed? What happened 5 years ago? Well, I mean, I guess,
5 years ago, Horizon was established and activity was conducted on various projects that you are not authorized to know about.
But we were in training for one of them.
Yes, you are now, I suppose, optimal in all combat procedures, training, flight, engineering. You are the strongest.
Oh. Oh.
You are an alpha soldier.
Oh.
I suppose we can take this to mean that in the 5 years we were in stasis, you perfected that little maneuver of jumping out of ships and sawing yourself into other ones.
Nervous, I just shut up.
I don't know. I'm having a lot of trouble comprehending what this means. But I just want my sword back. And I want my life back.
On the data pad, as you kind of flick through it, you see that it's locked. If you could probably like hack into it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Try just typing in password. Some things never change.
Oof.
That'd be
If the O doesn't work, try a 0 instead.
Should be hack should be on your character sheet, I believe.
It is. I see data.
It's not a default one.
It's data. Yeah, it's data. It's under data. Yeah.
Okay.
My bad.
Please be something decent.
Oh God, shit.
Please be something decent.
You got a nat 20, 23.
Oh shiz!
You're the chosen one.
So there was extra locks on it, but I'm like you. So describe how you just gain admin access.
Are you crying because you got a nat 20?
This is why you're in charge, Buns.
Oh,
no. You see, I was right.
Wait, like as they're like, I don't know what anybody's talking about, alpha soldier, or anything else, and they end up typing what they're speaking, so they just type in alpha soldier and not think about it, and then it goes access grid.
Oh shit.
They don't realize it's unlocked and they just keep scrolling, and then they're like, yeah, you know what, on second thought, I am the best. I'm inside. I'm in it. I have access.
You look through and you see that it's a logbook, and you see various entries: year 1, year 2, year 3, all the way up to 5. So you look through it, I'm guessing, in order, as I have it written out specifically.
So sorry.
None of this I skip through because I'm gonna jump on that real quick.
We're gonna go Star Wars order. We're gonna go 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3.
I know, right? Not gonna make any sense. Okay, so you look through it, and it reads: mission is going according to plan. Subjects are acclimating very well. Seems we can go ahead onto phase 2. That's year 1.
Like they're reading, like, they're doing well. Yeah.
I'm amazing. Yeah. Year 2.
Wow.
Everything we have learned from using M91 is mind-blowing. This research will change everything. Year 3. It seems the loop is the best order to do things. We increased the death rate. Each round, the subjects are getting stronger. Recording of their missions. And then you see a mission pop up, and you see your training exercise. And then you see you getting told by Ngozi to go on a mission, but you see different versions of it. And there is thousands of entries of this same mission. Seems this whole thing has been on the loop. Year 4. And you realize that this was one of the ones you get extra access to. It seems these subjects are really working well. They might just complete this project. I can't let that happen. My cover is safe for now. I need to find the M-91 serum and leave with E. And leave with E's help. No one suspects a thing, but there is no way I'm trusting E. I can't work out their motives. And then year 5. It seems my concerns were right. Things are becoming unstable here. The scientists are acting strange. E has gone missing, and I think they suspect something is up. I need to report back and get the M-91 serum and leave this rock. I also need to find out where that signal is coming from. I don't think I'm the only one with a secret mission here. I best check on the good doctor. That's where it ends.
They look over at Esme. Huh. What's happening? What do you remember? What do either of you remember? My brain is still remembering these, and then they turn the data pad over and just kind of scroll as all of the the videos are there. Like,
You see a number of them where Esme's jump didn't pan out, and they just reset the whole thing.
Apparently, you need to work on both your landing and whatever your motives are.
That's what I did. You can see it. And then the last one we did was a success.
Took 5 years. The last thing you all remember is finishing the training exercise, going to your mission, and just feeling like being on the ship, the Black Sparrow, felt like it was boring, like an eternity that's gone by of just doing the same thing over and over again.
But we are starting to kind of like realize that that's what was happening to us.
Yeah.
Okay. It's not so much of a belief anymore. It's just like we have to survive. We kind of have access, but we can at least go get our gear and figure out what else we're supposed to do with this. They hand the data pad over to them so that Velvet and Esme can look at it. And then I'm gonna go near where the exit is. I assume there's only one, or are there multiple ways that?
No, there's this one blast door,
black
that
door?
looks like the large circle, not indents. It looks like something from the outside tried to push through the metal in various areas.
Oh my!
I just want to like listen out, see if there's anything out there, because we have to get moving soon.
You listen, and you hear your heartbeat, and you train yourself, and you hear skittering, and every so often you hear and skittering going far away. Would you like me to open the door?
I would not at the moment, please and thank you.
Whatever this means. I believe it means that someone used us to an end. If this is the case, they know our usual habits.
We signed up for it.
But why does the logs sound... We signed up for it, but there is something wrong here. The entries, they reek of fear. Trying to hide something.
We can find out what that is.
Yes.
What do you think? We're gonna look over to Elizabeth.
I already was essentially entombed in a walking pod. I wouldn't have voluntarily traded it for a stationary one.
Okay.
Horizon, are you able to highlight any maintenance or access tunnels here on the station? We probably want to avoid the main thoroughfare so we are not swarmed. These things like to travel in packs.
Don't want any of it.
Yes, all of the access tunnels, vents, maintenance hatches are currently being bred for husk.
Bred for husk?
They are reproducing.
Oh no. I mean, yes. Not gonna. You know, couple of
Crazy husks.
just getting together, having a really good time. Unless they do it like starfish, I guess. The couple of husks pulling apart, also having kind of a good time. Who knows? I don't know.
I can guide you so that none of the husks will notice you, but the automatons that Dr. Fran controls are a problem. They will not show up on my scanners. That is something that you will have to avoid in your current unarmed state. Most of the Husks are on the higher levels.
Well, there is no time like the present. Mostly because we're late by 5 years. Are you ready? Esme will just pick up a chair. Let's go.
You pick up a chair and we see the doors open up sideways and we see all of you. And as it opens up, outside of the cryo room is a dilapidated hallway. You see human bodies on the floor, blood on the walls, and red fungus growths coming out of the cracks in the walls and the floor. It's a mess. And it stinks. It offends your senses, Foos.
Go over to the materializer.
Get one of the masks. And as you walk out to this large corridor, you see there is another corridor to your right. And as you start walking a few feet, Esme, you start hearing music. Music you've heard before. Music that has accompanied a familiarity, but also an unknown. What do you do?
I'll start following it.
You see Esme just walk off down the other corridor, almost not even saying anything.
Gonna like attempt to like kind of grab at them, like, where are you going?
It's this way.
How do you? Okay.
Horizon picks up. No, that is not the way. You should not go that way.
Why shouldn't I go that way?
You see them bobbing. No particular reason.
Well, until you get one, go ahead.
And you start moving and the music gets louder and louder until you come up to a number of blast doors. And you look up and you see written on the blast doors is the name. And it just reads E, S, M, I. Esme.
Esme.
Is this your room?
Can I open the blast doors?
For some reason, you feel you can. Do you?
I'll open them.
As you open these doors, you see this bright light almost cracking through. But only you see it, and as the doors shoot open to either side, the screen goes black. And you are in this strange expanse. You see in front of you, Esme, that you are glowing. This white and gold light. And as you look forward, you see a wall of fire in a circle. Beyond it is a glowing blue figure with hints of purple, playing a violin, dancing. You feel like you know this figure, but you can't place it. You know something is missing from this scene, but you don't know why. And a feeling of sadness suddenly takes you, but it's strange. You can't tell if it's your emotion or the figures that's dancing. And as the violin is playing in this wide, expansive room that's beyond the wall of fire, you get almost an out-of-body experience of yourself. And you see yourself almost for the first time. What does that look like?
This pearlescent skin, their face looks more like a mask. It's so smooth. And it's so reflective. It's almost as though it's a pearlescent mirror mask. And their clothing is a part of their skin, too. It seems to flow, even though it looks like metal. It's almost a warping sort of sensation on its own, and each bit, if you look closely enough, are simple labyrinthian patterns constantly coiling in on themselves as it makes up their fingers, going into their wide shoulders, their small frame, and stepping in time with the music toward it. Even the flow of their garments seem to match. Their hair is flowing as well. It almost looks vein-like, as though it's a heart beating according to the music. And this is what they look like.
And as you instinctively move forward, you brace up against this wall of fire, almost singeing yourself. The blue figure that has hints of purple stops, still playing, but looking at you. And you feel that wave of sadness again, but you're not sure if it's yours or theirs. Before everything cuts back and you feel as if someone's punched you in the chest, as if you've gained the first breath you've ever had. And you see all of you, Esme kind of step back 1 foot. It all happened within a millisecond. But you're all shocked, not from that as you look forward. Esme, you see as well as it horrifies you. In this room that extends maybe 60 feet forward, you see on either side are just racks upon racks of bodies, strung up by their armpits. These metal frames suspended. You see each one is you.
It is my room.
See a little blinking light in the distance at the far rim.
Esme falls to their knees.
You will see this. You see this room. You see the blinking light. What do any of you do?
I'll drag Esme over to the side so that at least they're not just, gawking at this display.
You're muted, Buns.
Sorry. I'm going to or Deuce is going to walk up to. You said it's just racks on racks. Is there anything
Just
that looks
racks.
like to be a center terminal of them at all? Kind of like a.
So as you walk in and you see the blue blinking light at the end, you start walking further in, further in. The door doesn't close as you see your companions are by it. And you see one rack is empty. And it just has a number plate on it. It just says number 203. And as that's the only one that is empty, you see just the lifeless Esme body just there, eyes kind of lowered down. And if you walk further on to where the blue light is, you see there is a desk and a chair. The chair's back is facing you. You can kind of see it, there's a figure slumped in it, not moving. What do you do?
The first thing I do is scratch out the 203 from the empty thing. Like, just it doesn't matter what number that was. That's who they are now. And then I'm going to use the thing from far back and use it to turn the chair. Like, I'm not going to touch anything, but I'm going to use the pole to like touch it and then turn the chair.
You try and like scratch out the numbers, but it's not. It seems to be like a fixed in it. Like you see dents in it. You'd have to spend like a good few, maybe like 5-10 minutes doing like scratching
Actually
into
doing
it.
it. Well,
Yeah.
the attempt will be made. I'll see that it's not necessarily something I can do right now, and then go to what I believe is the immediate threat, which is whatever's in this chair.
The chair isn't moving as you get close.
I know it seems still. Jump scare. Ugh.
You turn it around, and as you turn it around, the chair slumps around, and you see a desiccated corpse slump around as well. The eyes are gone, just these red fungus veins in it. But you recognize who it is.
I love it.
You recognize the corpse. It's Dr. Takehiko.
Oh.
But it looks like they've been dead for a long time.
Long time.
And then you see the blinking light. And as you look at the monitor, you see it's code. But whereas code runs downwards, code is shooting up.
I'm gonna turn the chair back around and then push it away so that it's out of my way now.
It slumps off and it's hanging onto like the side of the chair.
I'm like, I'm so sorry. Just yeah. And go over to it and let's see if this technology prowess goes. I just want to look at what it is. Does everything just kind of show vitals? Like, are they still are they still viable?
You just see like text of code scrolling upwards on the monitor.
Just code, just nothing.
Yeah.
I can't see anything about
it. Roll me a perception. And outside what's happening as Esme and Elizabeth are there together. Are you two doing anything outside? Elizabeth or Esme? Or are you just kind of consulting each other?
Esme is shutting down just a little bit. Just a little bit. Not certain what to do with this new information.
So I've placed Esme kind of, up against the wall outside of the room. And because I'm infamous for my bedside manner, I'm leaving Terry to be kind of like an emotional support familiar, and I'm kind of just standing at the aperture, and just kind of trying to see if I can catalog the different injuries these bodies have.
Your bodies are pristine.
Oh,
just inactive. And with that 10 there, it's not a high DC. As you're looking through it all, you notice one phrase pops out through the code. Hi.
Okay. They're gonna go over and kind of like when Thus goes through to get to where you two are, they end up like sliding towards you on their knees. They just like get down to kind of get to y'all level and go, this is all a lot. I in no way, shape, or form understand what you are going through right now, but I can sort of understand suddenly having something thrust upon you and being forced to be by yourself about it.
I'm not by myself.
Literally. And once again, there's a machine up there saying hi.
Oh.
Don't know what you want to do. I am here to help you do it.
I would like to talk to them, and Esme will gather up Terrence and squeeze them and just walk into the room again and keep their eyes very, very pointed on the floor as they...
They're just gonna walk ahead of you and just kind of like so that you can follow my feet
Mhm.
and just kind of help you get directly to the
Yup.
terminal.
Yup. Go up to the terminal.
I have pushed the chair with Takedo in it like away from everything.
It's okay.
You hear a roll off in the distance.
Out loud.
What kind of condition is Takehiko's body in?
It looks desiccated. It looks like all the moisture has just been sucked out of it. And there is just this red viney fungus in the sockets of the eye.
I'm gonna check the hands to see if there's still viable fingerprints.
Sure, you can do that. Roll me a medicine. While you're doing that, Esme, what are you doing?
I'm approaching the terminal and I'm going to interact with it. And I'm going to put a hi back. Just a chill each eye.
As you do, the code shimmers up. And you notice that the horizon bot isn't entering this place, it's just hovering on the outside. And the code stops. And then like glitchy lines go on the monitor. And then you just see a happy face. Same one you saw before. But then it moves slowly off to the side. And there is a happy face and there is an angry face emoji on both sides of each other before it blips off. And then, because we're in space now, like the 80s, we see 80s like computer text pop up with like the sound effect and everything.
Oh gosh.
Like we're playing Zork.
Yeah. It just says Esme Neurolog. Seems to be some kind of data file.
I'll open it.
As you do, a video pops up and you see it's Takehiko. They're alive. They have the kind of blue tealed hair up in a bun. They have their doctor's outfit on, and they're just saying, "This is great. This really is. These I've been able to advance so much in my research. It truly is good that I've been able to create so many of the Esme. Yes, yes. Soon we will be able to continue on, but one of them is glitching. I do not know what it is. I'm going to have to recalibrate one, see what is going on with it. It seems to be communicating with something outside. Its main subroutines seem to be in function. It is adhering to any authority and deeming its processes in line with the orders it gets from any authority figure, so I should be okay there. But it's becoming its own, a separate personality from the main routines that seems to be spreading. I cannot let this go to the others, but perhaps the doctor would agree that this is a good test. Perhaps I will get one of the others and put it in the simulation and see how it fares. If I just copy it over. This will be a good test and could be the starting off point for the project of the subversion protocol. And it blops off.
Subversion protocol?
Subversion protocol.
As that word is spoken outside of yourself, you see all life from Esme's expression fade away. They stand up straight. And through their voice, I'm going to explain this.
Sure. I don't know what's going on, so tell me a story, Pro Esme.
Through their voice, you hear ding, accessing subversion protocol data files. And then you hear Esme say? Give me 1 second. The subversion protocol for the executive subversion militarized invasive intelligence, codename Esme. Subversion protocol is to assimilate and obtain the best category subject for infiltration in all government bodies. Soon we will take hold of the entire subversion of each sect of political arms and allow for true militarization of the Horizon Project.
Horizon Project.
Horizon Project. Ding! Data not accessible. It just says data not accessible.
I know, but if it was.
Code required.
Goose is actually doing this.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Home screen. Oh God, I don't know. I said it like don't say home screen. Don't say home screen.
Main menu.
Enhance.
Accessing front-end drivers and routines. And as me, you kind of blink in your back.
Did you know you did all of that, or are you too confused?
I remembered as it happened.
Horizon. Little AI's name is Horizon, right?
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna call him. Like, come here for a second.
Does not enter the room.
Like they're gonna talk because they expected him to. They're just talking, and they're like, "Is there any way that you could pull up our files?"
Just floats on the entrance.
And then I realize it's not. Say, come here. What's wrong? I'm gonna start walking back to it because now I'm concerned. Why won't you come in?
I have not allowed access in Dr. Takehiko's chambers. It is barred from my own routines.
Well, Dr. Takehito is no longer able to give you permission or deny it, so I'm pretty sure you can come in here now. I give you permission. Yeah, I was in charge at some point.
Their expiry date does not change the protocol set in place. It is hardwired into my own subroutines. How may I assist you?
Can you pull up any files on me or Elizabeth?
Accessing files. Foos. Home planet. Norway. Sibling. Deceased. Exiled. Coalition member. And it goes through your history.
Yeah. Yeah, I know these things. I meant before we went into our stasis 5 years ago. What was the last things that we were doing?
It looks. The hollow image flips up of the face. And it just says, you were embarking on a trial exercise.
We are the lucky. Okay.
You survived. Congratulations.
Yeah. Yeah. I tend to do that.
Are you done?
The other two and go, let's go survive. What else do we do?
I can guide you to your equipment.
Yeah, I miss my gun.
I rolled a 4 on that medicine check.
Yeah, you aren't able to kind of see anything. It seems like you go to touch it and the flesh itself just almost disintegrates.
Really good thing about being a shark person is that we got rows and rows of teeth ready to go. I'm gonna tear one out.
Tear one out. Tear what out?
One of my teeth. And since I assume I was right close by enough to hear, Takahiko shenanigans, I'm gonna go, tooth for a tooth, and I'm gonna use my tooth to saw off the good hand. I don't know if we're gonna need those fingerprints later.
Okay, and as we see you kind of doing this, we see the camera kind of fade as we'll head for our break.
Yeah.
So we'll be back shortly here, discovering new things about ourselves, finding lost family members, sawing off desiccated limbs, coming out of a birthing tube, all the fun stuff in space, all the highlights. We'll see you then.
All the friends and selves you'll ever have.
All the use you need.
All the use you need.
In
All
space.
right. Going to break.
Hello, 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 everyone, and welcome back here. We are super hyped to be joining you again after all that lovely, emotional, fun little drama. Good to see all of you here in chat. If you're watching us live, welcome, welcome. Heard you're of course watching Gold Heart Gaming. Thank you for tuning in. Lost Horizon Semblance is a space horror adventure brought to you and sponsored by Magehand Press. We're using the Dark Matter book to bring this kind of homebrew kind of game that I'm running here to life. So super amazing book. I highly recommend you go out and check it out. Dark Matter is of course a rip-roaring futuristic campaign setting set against a mashup of sci-fi fantasy influences which allow you to play D&D in space without learning a new system. So we are using the Magehand Press material and SRD, so you can do all the fun 5e stuff in a space opera expanse without having to do all the new kind of crunching and system learning. This game is sponsored by Magehand Press, so be sure to check out their Kickstarter. They have amazing things on offer there. They're currently funding for some new campaigns and are doing lots of stretch goals, as I believe their original goal was funded in a few hours. So it was quite amazing there. We are also sponsored by VZ 3D Works, 3D printed TTRPG props, perfect for every table from mythic mugs collections to the fates and dice towers. Use our affiliate code in chat to get a 12% discount when you hit the checkout. You can only find that here, so if you're watching this in the future on YouTube, come check us out live, get that discount code, and buy yourself some awesome TTRPG stuff because you deserve it. So as a number of donation goes as well, if you're watching this live, you can scroll down and you can check those out. We highly appreciate any donations that you get, and also just you sitting here and enjoying the drama that we're weaving together. So thank you for tuning in. But why don't we just get right back to it, shall we? As the camera slowly winds in, we see you, Elsbeth, walking back to the group. You've gotten the hand that you want. Was there any conversations you wanted to have, Foos, with Esme before you all reunite, or do you all just kind of reunite at the entrance of this?
I also took an eye in case there's a retinal scanner.
There is no way, it's just the socket.
Oh, well, never mind then.
I'm thinking the same thing like every time. I'm like, why does it gotta go to the oculus?
The oculus.
It's been 5 it's been 5 years. Give the eyes a break. They're taking a nap.
There's
the windows to the soul, Zeus. If I take it, he doesn't get to rest in the afterlife.
Not true.
Intergalactically savage. But this is going to, especially since they tried to scratch off the 203, like they said when they first came up at you, they do not know how you're feeling about this at all, but they're like, am I the only person that feels like this may or may not also be a goddamn simulation? Like they say that to you, Esme, and they're like, and then they go to pinch you kind of, because they're like, is this...
Esme will think that they're just trying to hold hands and will just reach for your hand and kind of hold it and say, their simulations are very real. I do not know that I would be able to tell the difference between real life and a simulation in this scenario.
You were supposed to be able to wait. Oh, wait, no. Okay. My stuff has been messing up constantly. Let's try this one more time. I'm gonna smell Esme. I know their scent. If anything, if I can smell you, then I know that you're real. So I will relay to you that as long as you smell how you smell to me, and I know what you smell like, then it's you. That's my rationalization. Let's see if
you smell something now that you're focusing on Esme. Something new. Something different. Before, Esme smelled like any other human.
Mm-hmm.
But then you get close to them, there is just this metallic sense. There is polymer, metal, fabrication. The same scent you get from the others in the room.
You don't smell like you. You don't smell like the you that I've experienced for apparently the last 5 years. So that means you're real because you don't smell like a regular person. You smelled boring before. Now you don't. If you ever smell boring again, I know it's not you.
I will kill you.
Just never change.
Claws come out. Oh God.
Like, honestly though, they do look at you like, so if you ever smell boring again, I'll know.
I see. I do feel a little different out here. When we first stepped into this room, I felt a presence. The alarming thing to me is the phrase militarization of the Horizon Project. And I think it has something to do with the angry face that I've seen twice now.
Angry face. You mean the because I was looking at the screen when all of that happened, right? I was there with
yeah.
you.
You see the Horizon
I
AI
had
bot
to
is just
angry.
hovering by you all. But yes, yeah, you saw everything.
Oh, you mean when whoever said hi is happy to see you but upset with you still?
I believe we had a disagreement, but I do not remember it.
Well, it's for who apparently one of you, and they kind of like they like pat the data pad like as they start walking back towards Elizabeth, kind of like bringing the conversation to like have them in it again. Like, well, from what we read here, and they're like pat the data pad. You were, or one of you were supposed to help them do something and get away with something. So
I believe that might be the case, that I was built to subvert the Horizon program.
Into everything else.
But there is something wrong with me in which I did not.
You gained a conscience?
I don't know.
Yeah, that's the case with most people. We can't learn anything standing here. Any other weird rooms you feel like we should go into so that they can disagree so we know we should go there?
Oh, that is not that I know about.
So, what about you? Like they look over at Elizabeth, but then they like lean over to her and just kind of go, "Yeah, you still smell like an asshole."
Just a different asshole, because I'm not covered in like the Poseidon salt and the
They remember their first meeting.
You smell less spicy, but still.
You still smell.
Horizon is by the door waiting for you all to kind of come out, and as you kind of come out, they just say, "We should get going soon. Dr. Fran's automatons will come lurking in this area." Oh, I should have mentioned the automatons.
You vaguely mentioned the automatons.
Yeah.
I'm not sure what systems you still have access to, but wouldn't it behoove us if you were to cause some kind of disturbance or able to draw the husks towards Dr. Fran's location? I believe they'd be forced to pull back at least some automatons to maintain their position.
Are you assuming Elizabeth, that I have not thought of this. I am a high-end AI construct. I have thought of every consequential action. This is the lockhead I spoke of. Are you referring that I am not of optimal performance?
Well, considering I just stepped out of a pod, I can't really infer anything since I wasn't here for the 5 years. I'm catching up. Are you assuming that if I had been aware, I wouldn't have made this suggestion 5 years ago when everything went to hell?
It floats there.
I
You
am
are right.
stuck breathing terrible quality air while my skin dries up with a bunch of land walkers when I would rather be submerged in my sensory deprivation suit. Do not test me, drone, or you should best hope you have other bodies lying around.
It floats there. You are right. I did think that. I was mistaken. Thank you for the correction.
It's a gift I provide freely.
Pro, question.
Mhm.
So as a gadgeteer and the archetype that I chose, the master maker, I got to choose an implant, more or less, to put one of my gadgets and or a gun like implanted into me.
Ooh.
Yeah, I chose a stun gun in my palm, like Iron Man.
Oh yeah, I remember that.
I would like to see if it's operational.
Yeah, so as you're realizing and acclimating to this self of you away from the pod, kind of describe how you discover this.
Esme is like going across and sees one of these hanging Esmes, and looks at their palm, and then looks at their own, and then looks back at the Esme's palm, and then looks back at their own, and then they extend it at the 203, and sort of gink.
You do, yeah.
Does it just come over your palm like the little xenomorph mouth?
Yeah, a little bit.
Nice.
Kind of.
It's like a clatter. The apparatus kind of falls over.
I do not know if automatons will be a problem.
Wait, can you do that on command?
Flies past you in the corridor.
I believe I can.
Yeah. Okay. We're here. They go. Wait, are you working on anything while we're shenaniganizing?
Shenaniganizing.
We will have moving target practice. If you see something you shoot it.
So as you're talking and this SAS competition is kind of happening with Horizon and Elizabeth.
Come at me, I've broken more important artifacts.
That's true, you have. You walk to this corridor. The smell gets more intense and putrid. Foos. You feel it just once again offend your senses. You see that there is a blast door, and once again it is kind of punched in certain places. And as Horizon just says, "We cannot go this way. There is another way. It is more dangerous, but it is safe at the same time. There will not be much room to maneuver, but it is the only way to sneak past." And they kind of float down and a light beams out, and you see in a cluster of what looks to be bodies, there is a hole in the floor with a bunch of this red fungus kind of going through it. And it just says, "This hole will take you to the lower floor. That will be where you will find your gear in the subterranean laboratories."
That hole is full of things I have watched grow out of dead bodies since the moment I woke up. I'm not going down it. over to the thing that has the punches in it. Deuce isn't gonna punch, but they're gonna put their fist in the fist to see how big they're fighting. How big whatever they're fighting is.
That big.
Does their fist fit in it, or is it?
Yeah, it does. It fits in and it's kind of like riveted.
Mm-hmm. So they're like, that's like a 4-punch person at best. What are these things? They're pointing at the fungus, just like
that is unauthorized access.
that.
I hope that helps.
Oh, you know it don't. Do you have?
That quick retort, though. That quick retort.
Oh, it don't. Oh, do you have anything that comes out of you other than an annoying little red light?
I am trying to be as helpful as I can.
You are, and I am very appreciative of it. But if you could do a tad bit more and have something physical that comes out you to cut this stuff.
I am sure your hands will be sufficient. Or those claws.
Organic matter, no mixy with red death.
Then I suggest you use your weapon.
You're looking like a projectile right now, I'll tell you that much. Then you're gonna walk over.
Floats up.
You're looking like a projectile yourself, homie. You're gonna take the sharp part of the pole they have and just kind of see how easy it is, because sometimes mushrooms are like stupid soft, and when you go to touch them, they explode and or just fall off like a really weird piece of butter. Let's see what we're dealing with here.
Yeah, so it's like vines that go into this hole, this crawl space, and like it comes like reddish fungus. Which
crap.
There's no spores, but the fungus almost looks flesh-like. And you just scrape it away and it just peels away.
Yeah, okay. So it's not like touch activated.
No,
touch activated fungus.
But you look at the bodies and you see the bodies have bite marks in them.
Which way are we going?
Looks over to horizon.
Down.
All right.
And you start crawling. Who goes first? And get some turn orders.
I will.
All right.
Gonna jump.
You do. You die.
Oh man! I'll just take my brain back to one of those other ones.
What is?
I think
it's okay.
It did cross my mind when I was
got a save point.
I know, right? But only for you. Who's next?
I will go next because they're even more sensitive than me. But when I go, I take off. I'm gonna take off the shirt and and then put the jacket back on and then wrap the shirt around my muzzle like a mask, because I don't trust this at all.
I'm sure it's fine.
And then I'm gonna jump.
You jump. Elspeth, you go in as well. I'm guessing. And as you're kind of crawling through, each of you all hear just through the echoes of the walls, just clatterings of metal, scraping, coming from echoing everywhere. And you just hear just like throughout everywhere. And as you're kind of going through, you just keep hearing this intense. And everyone's rolling me a stealth check.
Ooh. Dun-dun, 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 dun-dun. All I rolled a 7.
Nice. Elspeth got a 6, 7, and a 12. Okay.
I'm the most stealth.
We're really good at this. We're so good at this.
We're the best.
We're the best of the best.
Truly alpha soldiers.
I mean, maybe if people would have died already. So you're doing good so far.
We're doing great. I can't wait till we get to the beta soldiers.
They're like killing aliens. It's like. So, as you're sneaking through, and calling through. Elsbeth, you hear a voice that just says, "Pick me. Take me." And as you're crawling, you see on the wall where the fungus is, just this purple reddish flower just bloom. And you hear it say, "I know the secret to the Poseidon formula. I know your deepest desires. The math was off. I can teach you." And I need you to roll me a wisdom save.
Oof. Okay.
You feel this pain at the back of your neck and on your spine. Just this digging pain. Digging pain. And you get a headache for a minute, but you shake out of it. And you just hear the voice again. "Pick me. I can help you. I understand your genius." What do you do?
I will crawl right past it, but I will have Terry pick it up.
Nice. I don't need to use my own fingers. Terry picks it up and it just pips right off. And it's this beautiful purple flower that has this spiraling color in the center, almost hypnotic, as you kind of move past it. And as you emerge, Esme, through the hole, you have to break, they're like these vines through the other hole. You just have to break through, which is kind of like the fungus. And you come into what looks to be a lab. You see tables and long desks. You see side cabinets. You see beakers and all other machinery broken on the side. You see a few bodies, and you definitely hear a number of just like coming from maybe like the corridor down, but it's pitch black in this room. What do you all do?
All right. We need to find our gear.
It's supposed to be in this room.
It is. Where would they store Alpha Soldier gear in a lab? This seems like something I could probably ask one of the machines.
Sure. Kind of get up. Do you see the machines are broken now?
Oh, good.
Yeah, everything is kind of destroyed in this room.
Mm.
Actually, as you're kind of pondering this, as you kind of do you stay in or do you crawl out?
I'll crawl out.
So as you crawl out, roll me a perception check as you're pondering what to do.
All right. 13.
Okay. Nothing happens.
Cool.
The rest come up as well, I'm guessing. Just in this dark room, every so often, yeah.
Okay. Trying to think where.
Could try and look around.
Yeah.
Investigation if you wanted. If you're not sure.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I will try an investigation check.
Yeah.
I'd like to roll one as well, but I want to start scouring the cabinets for any leftover chemicals. I think anything that I could use to make some kind of pesticide or something to deal with, the spoopy fungus.
Yeah, run me your own investigation check then. Yeah, definitely. Foos, what are you doing as you come out? You're muted.
I'm rolling so poorly.
That was me realizing I was muted.
No worries.
working through that realization. But when Thus comes in, creepy and it smell weird. Feel like they're not necessarily going to be useful in this room specifically. They're just like, okay, we'll go over and get my stuff, which is, I think, just a few blasters. Everything else is kind of.
Well, you're currently looking into that right now with Esme. So you see Esme going around looking for it. They seem to have found something with that 21 they rolled.
I rolled a 21.
Yeah.
Like, I was
You're the
gonna
chosen one.
start checking walls.
You don't have to do anything. Yeah, you can just like be following Kai. Yeah, but what I will have you do because oh yes.
Oh no, I'm just.
Sorry. He's like, yeah, me over here. Roll me a perception, Foos, with advantage.
Stop making me roll.
Because you're using your senses.
Yeah.
Stop making me do that specifically. It won't work. It keeps not working out.
And Elspeth, you got a 6. You look over at the drawers and some of the shelves. You see a bunch of broken beakers and glasses. You see some chemicals on the labels you recognize, some you don't recognize. You see a number of files that say M-91 serum in them, but they're all broken. Yeah. Okay, 13 as well. Lucky 13s. As you're kind of looking around and seeing everything just smells of right. You see a few dead bodies. That seems to perpetuate the air. You see in a walled off section, Esme, there's like this panel that seems to have what looks to be would have been like a small indent for a light. You go over to it and you kind of press it, and it kind of like pops open. And you just see like a rack of like weapons that are like surprisingly like your gear, but legally distinct.
Legally distinct from gear.
Eerily similar to, but legally distinct enough from.
Yeah, and you see your blades, your guns, your gear, your clothes, those locked away, and it has like your name on the inside.
Space crown.
Space crown. And you're able to kind of get your gear as you're all in this room. As you all are gearing up, at the back door, you hear it open and close and slam. You hear footsteps leading out into the hallway.
Out?
Yeah, so like someone must have been in here. You hear it open, slam close, and you hear it run away.
And then moving away from us. We're like everybody's getting all their stuff together, and then we hear that happen, and it's one of those looks at you guys, and then I'm just gonna start moving towards whatever is running away from us, because either they're scared of us and they are an innocent, or they're running away from us and they are our target. But either way, it run, I chase, go fast.
Remain athletics. Remain athletics as you give chase.
Yes.
As you run out the door, it opens and slams closed. You run out into the hallway.
Oh, wait, wrong.
Pro, in the immortal words of Frozone, where is my super suit?
You see on another panel on the wall, another large section kind of slides out, and you see propped up on these racks are like the sections of your suit that you can start kind of putting on. You see the main tank section already has like the liquid in it.
Perfect. I will suit up.
You do. That's going to take you a minute. So as you run out, Foos, you run out into the hallway. It's this dilapidated hallway. Once again, you see body parts everywhere. You see this large, on the left side of the wall as you run out and you face it, this wall is just glass. Nothing but glass. And you see it flip up as you walk out. And as you look to see and try and find this person, you see as the glass kind of flips up, you see the Black Sparrow main deck. You see the training quarters. You see the facility of the horizon on the planet. And as you kind of look at it and you dart past, kind of taking it all in, run me another perception. as you're trying to find this person, trying to catch up?
Another perception. I just need to have you.
Because you hear, but you don't see anything.
Yeah. Okay.
Oh, damn. You run out, you see like 60 feet away from you, that they die quickly. As you run around the corner, go to the right, you run and you don't see anything in front of you, but you hear boots, but you don't see anything. And then suddenly you look and then your eyes adjust and you see there's this weird shimmery glitch in the air as it seems to be moving away from you further and further. And this seems to be running.
Not a 2-leg problem. This is a 4-leg problem. I'm gonna get down and start running.
You are. Is anyone as Elspeth is donning their gear, Foos is running away? Esme, what are you doing?
I'm gonna follow Thus.
All right, run me a athletics.
Okay.
Everyone's splitting up. Yes.
Yeah. Oh no! Wait.
Yeah,
Oh well, I've made decisions before. I rolled a 6.
Okay, so about like a second goes by when you realize Foos has run out, and then you start running. Foos is like 30 feet ahead of you. You start running out. You see the same glass image as everything else. Run me a perception check to see if you can see what they see.
All right. And as me is running, their own suit is sort of like clinking and and matching to them. Yeah. They take off their hat for a moment so that the headband can come up and then put it back on.
Nice.
Let's see.
Imagine it's taking you longer because you're trying to like clip straps.
Would you believe I rolled a non-natural 0?
Oh, I'm gonna use that. Thank you.
This is fine.
This is fine.
So as you're running forward, and you give chase, Foos, you're running, and you see the shimmering glitch in the air. Run me a technology roll as you're trying to give chase.
Stop me. Yes, they will.
As they turn left down the corridor.
Said technology, right?
Yep. Give me a tech. 18. You know what this is. It is a stealth cloak. It's an invisibility cloak.
I have experienced it before.
You have.
Oh.
You know that whatever this person is wearing some kind of stealth cloak, and this kind of registers, so you know what to look for as a space cat comes into view.
Sorry.
As you dart around the corner and you're running, you halt as you see there are 4 husks just standing there. As you run around, you see them dart their face towards you. I need you to roll me a stealth as you quickly need to stop yourself. You see the shimmer jump up, and you see that there are like these like wires and copper tubing. They seem to be climbing on that.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So, all right. Yeah. I'm gonna do the roll first, and then I'll say the cool thing I'm thinking. So stealth.
You get an 8. As you turn the corner and you see this, you're running on like the hard metal ground. You try and stop yourself, but your claws, they clatter, and all of them look towards you, and they go. Roll initiative.
Yeah, the bad thing is either you were gonna say that I was like, Thus roars back because.
Nice. Nice. So everyone run me initiative.
I'm so sorry.
Nope, don't like that.
Initiative.
It's right by your
armor class. Right next to your
armor
AC.
class. Yes.
Ooh,
so see here. Buns, what did you get?
I got a 10. I'm not sure why I didn't.
10. Esme got an 8. And
I got a 12.
And you got a 12. Awesome. Now let me roll for these things. Diddle-do. So we have doop, doop, as I just add them to the turn order. And as you see these things, they look like, so for lack of a better description, if anyone's played The Last of Us, they look like clickers. Yeah. They look like clickers, so their head is kind of mushroomed out. You see these spores. Their hands are elongated and have claws on them. They're on a sort of like disheveled, like distress, and their muscles are showing, and their arms are elongated, and they're moving in a strange, disjointed way. They look incredibly agile and nimble. Oh, a quick question as well. Just while I do this, what did you do with the flower? Elizabeth.
Well, I'm suiting up. I'm gonna have Terry try to find an intact vial to keep the flower in.
Okay, cool. Yeah, you do that. Let me just get their turn order real quick. Okay, they have a -1, so let me do that. And they see you, and they see 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, nice, cool. So we have an 8 for them. And then 14, one of them really nimble. It's like, hey, buddy. 3 and a 0. So someone else got on the 0 train.
I know that life.
And so as that happens, and you see this shimmer run away on the beams on like the ceiling, you see one of these husks. They come towards you. Their eyes are fungied over. Their hands are twitching, and they just their head twists towards you, and in a disjointed way, they rush you and they go to attack. So this is going to be attack as they bark at you. Like, Ruff, I'm gonna attack you.
You're so barky. So
Yeah. But gets a 6 as it fails that attack, but it gets another slam attack. Gets a 10. I'm guessing a 10 doesn't hit you. As this thing runs towards you, slashes down with one claw, slashes across with the other. You dart left and right out of the way. And next is Elspeth with a 12. And I'm going to say at this point you have your armor on. Just make it easier.
Yeah, I'll start making my way over.
Yep, you start running over. So they're 60 feet away, so you'd have to dash to get there if you wanted, or you could do something else. They're like in a corridor around the corner.
Yeah, I mean, if you're 60 feet away, I can just use my entire turn to get over there.
Yeah, you do, and you run past Esme. Clunk, 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 clunk. They all hear you loudly. All their heads just turn towards you as you go around the corner, and you see these horrible things. That is your turn. Foos, at the beginning of your turn, I need you to roll me a wisdom save. What did you get?
A 9.
You have disadvantage on this attack, as this hesitation somewhere within you sparks. You get this pain at the base of your neck and your spine. What do you do?
So once that freeze happens, and it just kind of like everything about me has been messing up, and then I hear the clunking, which makes them all pay attention, like for a split second, not on me. And that's when I'm like, okay, and I'm going to run forward. And let me pull this up so I can make sure I'm doing this correctly.
Yeah. Horizon's there with you as well. Just been like, don't die, don't die.
Survive.
This is the exact thing I warned you about.
He's like, they're like clippy.
They're like,
You
I
guys look
see you're
like you
trying to
should
find some clickers. Would you like some help with that?
get out of here. Oh,
What do you do, Foos?
what is happening? I was gonna. Oh wait, we put everything here.
Yeah, everything should be on your character sheet.
It is. I just need to scroll down. All right, I am going to use my repeater blaster.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, well, I've already made a decision. I'm gonna use my repeater blaster when they go to look away to just kind of go, just like pop, pop, pop.
Okay, you doing the one in front of you because it is a ranged attack and it is right up against you.
Is it?
But you also have disadvantage anyway because of the roll you made,
Yes.
so it doesn't really matter. You have double disadvantage, which does nothing. It just makes me feel better.
Wait. So before I hit this roll, does that mean I go back to normal because the disadvantages cancel each other out?
No, you just failed.
Can't have a double
I'm joking.
negative.
No, I'm
Oh,
joking.
okay.
But yeah, you roll with disadvantage.
Roll
As
with
that,
disadvantage?
yeah, as that hesitation.
Of course, I just wanted to make sure. I did a 6.
You go to shoot, and as you shoot, your gun kind of makes that humming noise, and as it does, you see them dart out of the way as the heat shoots forward, almost instinctively.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do you by chance have a throw dot attack?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Do the lightning. Do you do anything else with your turn?
Other than trying to move.
Nope, you muted yourself.
Sorry, did it? Can you hear me now?
You're good now, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So the shot doesn't work, but they move out of the way. When they move out the way,
It's like dodges it.
yep, I'm going to do it. I'm going to use them moving out the way to try to dash and sprint forward so I can get to that rhubarb or whatever that person was climbing on, so I can continue to follow the shimmer.
Yeah, you can try.
I know it's opportunity and stuff, but
yeah. So yeah, you have to kind of like move through them. It is like in like further into them.
yeah, when they go to move out of the way of the blast, I would like basically shoot and then follow my blast.
Yeah. You can definitely do that. Let me just get an opportunity attack on you. 11. Nope. So does 11 hit you? I think it does. No. So yeah, you go to run. You can attempt to kind of climb up on your next turn.
You said I could attempt to, huh? I couldn't hear
You
you.
attempt to climb up. Yeah, you can attempt to climb up on your next
my
turn.
next turn, yeah,
It'd be an
okay.
action to
Yeah.
do so. But yes, at the end of that round, it is another one of their turns. This one runs forward and goes to lash at you, Foos, as you kind of attempt to move forward. Just screams and howls as this red ichor is dripping from the mouth. Takes 2 attacks. Both hit you with an 18 and a 19. A claw comes up and another one slashes down as it does, and you are going to take boop. Okay, so 9 on the first one and 6 on the second one, and I need you to run me a Constitution saving throw.
So let me do the damage first. Let's make this full screen. When I can't see, when I don't know where my health is to do the stuff.
It should be in the box.
It's not. Let's see, armor class, initiative, speed, but I don't.
Did you not
see
put your
my-
health in?
My health thing isn't here.
Did you not put it in?
I don't even see where it goes.
It's in the center.
Yeah, it's not that it's empty; it's that it's not there. Oh wait. Yep. Nope. Nothing was put.
Do you know where your health was? Is it written down?
It's nothing there now.
Okay. Well, you take that damage, and then we'll do the roll, and then you can calculate your health.
Yeah.
And then we can do it as we do other turns. So just run me that Constitution save.
Constitution save.
Yeah. A 3.
Am I alive? Nope.
So okay, so as this thing lashes out at you, you feel your life be drawn from you as it claws out a chunk. And as it claws out a chunk, you feel this pain. And where the slashing mark is, we see the red veins on your torso. For next turn, it's you have disadvantage on attack rolls, ability checks, and saving throws for your next turn.
Okay, so there's disadvantage has been
And everything, yeah.
Gotcha. Yeah.
Okay, so yeah, so just look up your health, calculate it,
Yeah,
and then
I'll get
take
that
off 14. Okay, Esme.
Yeah. Esme will run forward while drawing their sword and activate that fieriness inside of it, and try to slash one of these living nightmare fungi down.
Yeah,
It's fungus among us.
The fungus among us.
Fungo boys.
The Fungo Boys.
That's gonna be our dark matter cover band.
23 to hit.
That hits. That hits. Yeah.
And 11 radiant damage.
Oof, God. That is harsh. Yeah. It I don't think it takes double damage because it's radiant.
Yeah, it's just radiant.
Yeah, it doesn't take any double damage.
That's
from
it.
But
Okay.
you do a mighty blow, and you see as you chop into it, it's wounded it quite sufficiently.
Nice.
Does not look good with that. One would say it was bloodied. You do anything else with your charm?
I'm gonna yell out to Thus. Thus, are you all right?
A sideways thumb kind of goes in the
air. Is that your turn?
I believe so, yeah. Yeah, can't really do much else.
Okay. One of these creatures runs towards you. Esme, as it just kind of clatters and screeches, and it runs towards you, stops for a second, but then attacks you. Okay, so it will attack. 1 attack. 2 attack. I'm guessing the 11 misses and
It
the
does.
16 hits.
Yes.
You are going to.
However, did you tell?
I'm special. Take 10 damage, and you use make a Constitution save.
Okay. 11?
You just fail.
Mm.
So the same. You have disadvantage on all next turn.
All right.
Another one of the boys runs forward, screeches, hollers, runs towards Elizabeth, and starts scratching at the hull of the metal of your gear. 14 and 23. 23 hits, I'm guessing.
Just barely.
Does the 14 hit you?
No, it does not.
Okay, then it's just the 1 hit, a boop. Oh God, a 10 again. I'm running so good. I may kill you all. Also, running is always an option in my game. So you know. So roll me your Constitution save. You pass. You are good.
Yay.
Always pass.
Did it. At the top of the round, we hear once again the boots. We hear the rattling of the pipes as the figure moves further away. And now at the top of the round, the one next to Foos will attack. See. Did you move further in, Esme? Or did you kind of stay back? Oh no, you're melee, so you moved in. So this one's going to attack Foos and then go to attack Esme. 20 for Foos. but a 10 for Esme, so that misses Esme. This may lower you, kick you out. Foos, I'm not sure if you take 24 damage. Let me see how much damage you take. 6 damage. Okay, so 6 on top of that. Okay. So they slash at both of you. It is Elizabeth's turn.
I'm gonna pop the one that just booped me.
Go for it. Boop attack. That hits, yes. Hit the name of on the chat box.
What the name of what? Oh, there we go.
Oh, that's not right.
Oh, the damage type is not in the.
Do you know what the damage does?
You know, I don't remember.
Which one?
For the void shackles.
Okay. Is it a spell?
No, it's a weapon.
Okay. Well, as you lash out at them, they take damage. We'll find out what that is in a moment. Do you do anything else with your bonus action?
Bonus action, bonus action. No, I don't think I can really do anything else.
Okay, so you attack one of them, and then we'll see what that damage is. Foos.
Okay. And just to make sure the damage that I took last turn was how much, so I can make sure I took away the right amount?
Yeah, so last turn it was 14, I believe.
14?
Because it was 6 and 9, and then you got another 6, so I think it should be 21.
Okay. Okay, so many clicks. I am down at my correct HP now.
Okay.
And it is now my turn?
Yeah.
Okay, awesome. I am going to do a little something called
I don't know what is, but it sounds good.
It is good. It's very good. But
nice.
I am going to Misty step over to the gosh dang thing I'm trying to get to. Like I've gotten close enough. I think he's just like they're just like, right. I'm just like
okay, you Dustradar your way forward. As you kind of disappear and reappear, I'm guessing you'd reappear below them because if you're high, you don't want to fall. So you reappear 30 feet where they are. You're right below them.
And all they just hear behind them just and then climbing.
Yeah, roll me athletics.
Athletics, please be nice to me. I've gone through a lot right now.
Treat me well. Oh, 8 points. Thank you.
Here we go, people. 16.
6 John. Nice. Okay.
And that's with the disadvantage because I don't.
Yeah. So you climb up on the side. You get onto the kind of pipe racks, and you see the person up there. As you kind of get up, they seem to move to the side to look at you. Roll me a perception check.
Roll perception. Okay. Do I see all the things? Ah.
They turn their heads slightly. You can just see the rim of the hood, but you don't see anything with the face. They seem to keep going.
Can I grab out for their cloak?
You can on the next turn.
Okay.
Yeah. Boop. And it is the creature's turn. Now that it's has nothing next to them, it's just going to attack Esme. Attack. 11 misses. Attack. 7 misses. It's just like, and you're like parrying it really good, like expertly. Not today. Esme, it is your turn.
Oh, good. Okay. So I see what Thus is doing, and I think I want to follow them.
Run me a perception check, because they seem to follow something just as a free.
Yeah. Sure thing.
Sure.
Yeah, I'll just do that. I rolled a 1, but it's a not natural one, so it's at least not a 0, you know.
Yeah, we try, we try. Yeah, you just see Foos just shimmying away.
Oh my gosh, we have seen so many things that aren't real. And I've got so many problems in front of me, so I will fight the problems in front of me at the moment.
And 99 problems and Thus ain't one. It's fine.
This is chasing something that I can't see right now, but I have a few things down here I need to take care of first. So I'm going to attempt to laser sword one of them, and I do have disadvantage. So, well, bang.
Laser sword away.
A 10? All right.
No. Anything else for your bonus action?
No, I don't believe so. Not at the moment. I've got nothing.
Okay. As you go on, this one's going to attack Elizabeth. Boop. 8 misses. 16 hits, I'm guessing.
Yes.
So you're going to take, as it rips, as its nails dig into the hull, and you see some of your Poseidon solution like start spitting out.
Oh no.
You're going to take, it's a bit of the metal grazes you. It's an 8. I'm gonna say, because you're in this suit, they haven't got enough in yet until they can reach your flesh, but you just kind of get damage from like some of the bent metal that's sticking in. They attack you again. Again, then they'll be able to kind of get through, but they don't. So that's that one. Next one is going to attack Esme and Elizabeth. Elizabeth gets an 11. Esme gets a 19. So you're going to take an 8. Roll me in Constitution save.
All right.
DC is 12.
I rolled a 1. It's a natural one.
Oh, it's
This is fine.
This is
everything.
I'm number 1.
I did it.
You were number 1.
You get this slice, and once again you feel this invasiveness. Everything in you tells you that there is this foreign entity weaving its way into you. You have disadvantage once again. At the end of that turn, it is this figure's turn. They drop down from where they are effortlessly, and as they do, they spin around. They hit the ground, like one knee on the ground and one foot up. They go into their cloak. You see them bring out this large repeater. The hood flips over, and you see Foos, someone you've seen before. You see Envara. You see the drow, this drow with this fox hawk hair, silver, this like light blue skin, androgynous figure. They're in this combat stealth suit, and they just tut and they say something in Elvish. I don't know if you speak Elvish.
I do not believe it speak Elvish.
You hear them say, Elastia, and they roll their eyes and they point out, and you see the hum, and they look like they're about to shoot into the husks. Or maybe at your friends.
Into the husks that are attacking my people, the husks?
They're pointing towards the husk. Maybe your friends. I don't
We
know.
don't know yet.
Who knows?
Who
What's
knows?
life, right? And they are going to fire. So they're going to roll at the weakest looking one, get a 19, and then they're going to shoot. So you see this silvery beam of like hot heat shoot towards the wounded one that's harrowing Esme, and as it does, you see it just get hit on the side, and it starts kind of boiling, and then like half it gets destroyed and it falls down hissing. The environment looks up towards you and then back in the scope. That husk is now dead, so yeah.
One less husk.
One less husk. It is Elizabeth's turn.
I'm gonna pop the weakest one by me.
Okay, go for it. That hits, yes. An 8. Nice. Describe how you take it down.
I think my focus has just always been on popping the teeth in the jaw so it can't bite. So I think I'm gonna boop it on the snoop, but maybe boop it a little too hard.
Boop, it exploded. You do, and this face just kind of crumples in. You see it like scratching in the air as it starts falling backwards before it kind of curls up like a spider. It falls down, dead. Anything else you're doing?
That's all I can do for now.
All right. Esme.
Esme is going to
There's 2 left.
There's 2 left. Esme is gonna reach up their hand and actually I can't tell which one's better. Fireworks.
Fire always works.
Fire does work. Let me see here. I have a circuitry kit, which stands to reason there might be a soldering iron in there.
Yeah. Trying to burn this face.
Yeah.
Face off. Okay.
Why?
Like in Face Off.
Like in Face Off. Nah, it's fine. I'll just use my sword. I think it's gonna be better than a soldering iron anyway.
Nice.
I'll slash it with my sword instead. But as my sword. But as they do, there's like that compartment that they opened up in their hand earlier. There's like small little tendrils, sort of coming out of it just a little bit.
Oh, nice.
Because this is not great for them. 25.
That hits, yeah.
On the left, but 23 because they have a disadvantage. So that's pretty good regardless, right? Yeah, 9 radiant damage.
9, yeah. This one was already hit as well, so this one looks incredibly weak now that you've hit it.
Oh, no.
Goes into the side. You see this hole, and then you see as a hole in the side, you see little fungus vines, almost like trying to stitch itself together, but not being long enough, so you just see it wiggling.
Oh,
Yeah.
a little writhy boy.
Yeah. I thought I'd just add that in there for some reason.
I'm glad you did.
Thank you. Yeah. Immersion. Anything else you wish to do?
No. No.
Okay. It is one that just got hit. That's going to attack Elizabeth. 10 misses. 15 hits.
Nope.
I'm guessing. Nope. Then it just scratches the side. We see like the marks, but it doesn't go in. One's going to attack. The other one's going to attack. Esme?
Yes. Oh, man.
22.
Yeah.
And a 20.
Oh, yeah.
Could it not, though?
Oh.
A free.
Okay.
A free.
That's okay.
6 damage.
Okay, so that is I'm down, and then I take 2 death saving failures.
Okay. So
As me
you
pulls.
get scratched, and like one scratches in the side again. As you're unconscious, roll me a Constitution save. No, a will save. Sorry, a will save.
A will save. Ooh. Ooh, 8.
Oh, okay, we got the 0.
Well, if it's saving throws, disadvantage.
Technically, you do get the 0.
Yeah.
Okay.
This is fine.
Okay. Mark down 1 failure
Okay.
for this.
For this one?
Yeah, for this. Not a death save, just a failure.
Oh, just a failure in general.
Yeah, just a failure. It's what we did.
Foos
a while ago.
Oh.
Yeah.
Hey.
So at the end of that, it is Envara's turn, and they get out their weapon again, and they just kind of cock it, and we see another barrel kind of shoot out, and they just say, getting out of it, yeah, Philly, and they just start shooting one, shoot to the other one, using their multi-attack this time, getting more and more frustrated. So 1 to the other one, 21 that hits, and then to the other one, 6, that one misses. Okay, so first one's gonna hit the weakest one, 7. It just shoots the head, and like the entire like shoulder area is concave and just fall backwards. They are dead. There's just one left now. And then they just kind of stand up, and then kind of put the hood. Did I miss you, Foos?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I'm sorry. They just kind of stand up. What would you do? That's my bad.
But what this was going to do was because they looked down, because now they're down there, like they didn't just do all that to climb up here. And during all that time, Thus has moved themselves so that they're holding themselves upside down, and then they squeeze themselves in and then shoot themselves down and cast to like duplicity, so that there's 2 of them. One of which was going to kind of be a thing, be a distraction for the legally distinct clickers while they barreled into
the clackers.
Right, but I think I'm gonna change the duplicity after that to prehensile hair instead.
Ooh, nice.
I'm still gonna shoot myself down to them, but my hair is going to shoot out. One of my space buns coming out, it's like slamming against the ground and brace me, and the other one to slam them against the ground before I land. At least that's what I'm going for. I think we're out of initiative at this point, so it's no.
Well, there's one left.
Oh, there is one left.
There's one clacker left.
I thought they took the last.
No, there was 2, and then they took one out.
Okay, well, then I will not target Nawari with that attack. I will still do the same thing, but to the clacker.
Okay. So what do I need to do as any kind of save or anything?
I don't believe it is, but I will read this over so I can make sure. That is prehensile hair.
Do you want to pull it in the? Is it in roll 20?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I just have to click it so I can get the information. Duration 1 action, braided tone, 1 hour. Nope, just that I have super long hair. It can even be my eyebrows, but my hair moves the way I want it to.
Okay.
I can manipulate objects. It doesn't have anything for me to do to a range out of 10 feet. So once I shoot, that's why I'm shooting myself. So when I get close, my hair just kind of goes.
Okay, it can attack for you?
Yeah, it can manipulate an object, unlock a door container, storing, retrieving an item, open a container, or pour content. It can do what I want.
Yeah, it seems like it can manipulate more than attack.
More than attack, so you don't think I could use like punch?
Yeah, if it's saying like you manipulate objects and activate stuff, it seems like it's like an accessory thing.
Oh,
but
well, then I'm just a bowling ball. Then I still hurl my body at them.
Yeah, you can still attack them
with
any kind of weapon.
The flourish is gone at most.
You're a wild animal now. Yeah. So
my curse is to be feral. This is completely logical to me.
How do you attack?
I think it's just a
Are you using your claws or a
Yeah,
weapon?
I was gonna say I would use my claws.
Yeah, it should be in the attack section.
there?
If not, okay.
Because I'm still on disadvantage, aren't I?
No, that would have stopped now because it was
Oh.
your turn, right?
I mean, then I would have gotten
but
a 10.
You still got a 5 because you don't have an advantage. You just have a 5.
Oh, I rolled with disadvantage because I thought I still had it. I would have.
No, so disadvantage. So if you don't have disadvantage, it's always on the left. If you have disadvantage, it takes the lowest one. So rolling 2 on roll 20 means that if you have an advantage, we'll take the higher of the 2.
Mhm.
If you have disadvantage, we take the lower of the 2. If it's just flat, then you always take the left roll.
Okay.
Yeah, that's how that kind of works with that. But you get a natural 1, so it's a 5. And you go to attack this thing, but it dodges out of the way, hearing you coming closer. At the top of the round, sorry for missing you, is Elsbeth.
Okay. Sorry, had to read a spell.
No worries.
So are we out of initiative, or is the
There's still one left. There's still one left.
All right, I'll finish that off then.
Yeah, it's looking pretty weak. $11 misses.
Oops.
Okay. At the end of that turn, it would be Foos's turn again because I missed it last time.
Well, it didn't work. The first attack I did, and their attack also did not.
Mm-hmm.
So this thing is still up.
Yes.
Okay, I'm gonna shoot it.
Okay.
Pew pew.
Pew 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 pew.
Pew pew at it. I tried throwing myself at it. I've gotten slapped by these things. We're just gonna pew pew with the phaser blaster.
Ooh, a 9.
Gosh, darn it.
Yeah. Okay. So as this happens, you shoot and it dodges out of the way. Also a quick question. When you went down, Esme, did you go down in a 3 and then it attacked you, or was the 6 the attack?
The 3 was what I went down with. It was like in order.
Oh, okay then.
Yeah,
that's fine. Yeah. So, as you feel this, roll me a death save.
Failure.
So, as this is happening, and you feel yourself shutting down, because in these games I always find you die because of a roll quite boring, and I like to do very interesting things, and you are not really, for lack of a better word, a living organic being.
Mm-mm.
So you feel yourself shutting down, but then you hear a voice. It just says, somehow in your cognitive processing, I still need you. Take the flower, or become one of them. And I'm going to give you a choice here. To either take a flower, this purple flower that has this spiral color going down, or to reboot in Esme.
Can I? Oof.
You can think about it.
Yeah, I would like. Can I make this decision next session? I would like some time to think about what the narrative implications of both mean.
Mm-hmm.
Is this how I get a level in Warlock?
Is this what I do? So yes, this happens, and helps push the some of the drama forward. But yes, you see the light from Esme's eyes shut, for those who are watching. And it is this creature's turn. And it is going to attack Elspeth, the biggest, dangerous one. Go, creature, go. 19 and a 6. 6 damage, Elspeth. Let me a save.
Go, creature, go.
Con save?
Yes. You pass. And then this thing shoots. We see a light shoot past you as it hits this creature. It starts disintegrating with Envara's weapon. And as it is disintegrating, you hear Envara speak up and just say, I saved you. Don't follow me. Maybe you should help your friends. And we see them pop the hood and they start running away. What do you do?
But that noise is inhaling because I am going to get your sit. I will find you.
You
But
let
then
them
I
go?
go over to my team and I check them. I'm going to do small restoration to everybody. Oh Lord, we need some rest.
You go over and you see Esme's body is not moving.
And I'm like, it's gonna get real sad. I'm moving them because I'm like, okay, come on, it's not that bad. It's just look, I got scratched too, and you're fine. You're fine. You're fine. Slap.
The head kind of plops and you see the vacant eyes. You see just the blood kind of pour out. And every instinct tells you there is nothing there. Congratulations, you survived. Well, some of you. We should leave. There are more coming. I will hurry. The noise brought many of them. What do you do, Foos?
I pick up Esme's body, grab Elizabeth by like the helmet, and start running.
Do you run back? Do you run down the same corridor that Envaro went down, or do you run
I can't
left?
follow them up with them, so we have to go back to where the gear is.
You start running back, you start turning around and moving. As you go to the gear, running towards the lab, you see the lab door close and you see the red light appear. It locks. You see on the screen, on the wall, on this corridor, that was your past assignment areas from the hallucination. You see all of it just disappears. And we see that same Vec on all the monitors. And we hear him say, I cannot allow you to continue on with Horizon's help. Sadly, I have to terminate all of you. And then you see down the corridor, the blast doors open. And there is a horde of these clackers scrounging out, running towards you. Now you know, Foos, that with this heavy than what you expected Esme on you, you wouldn't be able to outrun this. But you know you'll try anyway. Elspeth, your suit would most likely protect you for a while. And you just start running. You start dashing. These things are screeching, hollering. They're toppling over each other again and again and again. There's this horde of them. And as you run down this corridor, you hear boots coming towards you, heavy boots. This blur passes you. And we just see as the camera zooms in on them, their hand go back and throw forward as this spherical board shoots out. Reddish light intertwined with the inner hue of it as it expands and shoots to each corner in the corridor as this thermic energy lights up into a shield. And as this horde bashes into it, you see some of them burning, singeing, but pressing up against it like a net, being pulled too heavy to keep them at bay, but just long enough. And as this figure turns around, all of you are shocked. Your eyes go wide. We see the expression as we see from boots up, these black, dirty boots, the dirty white vest. And as they hold up their large rifle, the blaster rifle, we see Esme. They look at you and just say, I'm Esme, number 203, but you can call me E. Come with me if you want to live. And they dart past you, down the opposite corner. And the camera goes black.
What? Oh no, I was number 42. Oh!
Oh!
Yeah!
Oh shit.
I'm trying not to cry right now.
Yeah.
Not gonna cry.
Clap, clap, drama.
Too late.
I'm not crying. I'm not crying. It's fine.
I'm not crying.
I'm not crying.
So we have a choice for next episode. I find out what's gonna happen there because that's more interesting, right? To pull more heartstrings.
Yeah, great.
What does it all mean? This Esme.
What does it mean?
2031. What?
Huh.
Expect collective movie references like this one.
I'm fine.
You okay?
Yeah, I'm fine. That was really good.
I'm glad you like it.
I do. It's great.
I'm in danger. Nice. Well,
I already was in danger.
I was in danger. Oh man. Now,
I'm at 1 health point, just in case anyone was wondering.
Yeah.
Ooh.
I'm a strapping 8.
Nice.
Strapping 8.
Strapping 8. I love it. I love it. Well, why don't we go around and just first thank you all for playing. It was really great. You brought that emotional drama that I love.
Oh, gosh.
Great job. When we have a little down session here, and when we talk about kind of like things we liked, things that were shocked to us, just any kind of moment. If you have any favorite kind of moments. If you're not sure of one, I can jump in. But this episode was great. Thank you all. Thank you all for watching as well.
It's real good. No complaints.
I'm very glad if you... Oh, go ahead.
Oh, sorry. No complaints here. I'm real good right now.
I'm sad, but this feels good.
I'm so sad and satisfied. I'm satisfied. There you go.
Satisfied.
Yeah.
Nice. It was great. Did anyone have any kind of moments that shocked them, or was their favorite, or anything like that?
I had no idea that Room of Esmes was coming either. I'm just like,
Me either.
nothing. Just nothing there.
I was like, what would be like the most horrific way you could find out that you're like an android, right? You're like, oh wait, there's one of me.
I thought it was gonna be like a small quarters, but as soon as you said like how big it was, I was like, oh no.
Oh no.
Oh my god.
You Wheatley ass. Horizon's gonna catch these goddamn hands if they keep coming.
Sassy Horizon.
Sassy Horizon.
Come at me, robot.
That's what I should have put this.
They need to be we need to get them cleared so they can be my sassy sidekick. I'm okay being in charge
Until you find the small yarn boy.
Where's your small yarn boy?
Oh, you have
My
it.
small-
Where's your
Right, I was like,
Where's your son?
Bibe. Yeah, where's the Bibe? They are part of my hair. Remember, that my they are actually made from the same stuff my hair is. So
Oh, okay.
they are not on me, they are in my hair when my hair comes off and becomes in Bibe.
I like to
Right.
imagine.
In suspension, he wouldn't just be chilling, or else he would have just been there floating. Just like,
I like to
Oh,
imagine
my
that it is a
goodness.
separate part of you, and like on some other level on the facility, it just has a gun. It's like shooting all these monsters.
Mm.
I will say I'm glad you interrupted us, or rather that like Esme42 saved us. Because my backup plan was gonna be like elbow Theus in the stomach and just like toss the body at the horde.
me?
Because you no, throw the dead body.
Elizabeth's here to make the hard choices with
Right?
my
Like,
characters.
buy us time to scamper up the hole.
With my characters' dead bodies.
Elbow me in the stomach.
Well, because I imagine if I was like, "Hey, throw the body at the horde," you'd be like, "Nah."
All you would have had to do was suggest it, because I was like 3 seconds from going, there's technically a room full of you.
Okay, I just I wasn't gonna gamble on like the negotiation.
I'm emotionally scarred.
That's
Right after
hilarious.
Esme, then I
Oh my god.
Chuck Chinnog.
Theus, having more of you doesn't make Theus, having more of you doesn't make your life less valuable. Fuck it, there's so many of you.
That's hilarious.
I know.
Oh my gosh.
Captain, my captain. That was.
The energy
That
in
was
the studio today is upsetting my dog.
Oh, it's a lot.
just that fire.
Oh,
yeah,
God.
well, yeah, there we go. Bringing my feels to the Goldheart crew here. Super
I'm
happy
trapped in a
to.
glass cage of emotion.
I know, right? Super great. Thank you all for playing. Thank you all for
Thank
watching.
you for running.
No,
Yeah, thank you.
I'm super glad you enjoyed it here. Had lots of fun, lots of surprises, lots of face journeys, and yeah, we'll see where this all leads next session, y'all.
Oof,
See you then.
I'm exhausted.
Say bye, emotional support familiar. Bye.